I've always played Monster Hunter by myself. And no, that doesn't mean I haven't played with other people, it's just that I haven't been able to experience the game with people and friends I actually know. And that kinda sucks, as I definitely enjoy playing a lot of my other favorite games like Minecraft with friends, but I never had the opportunity to do so with Monster Hunter. And yet, I still keep on playing, in what I believe is fundamentally a co-op game. And so the question is, why? So I kind of want to just give my opinions first on the Monster Hunter as a multiplayer game. I think Monster Hunter is one of those games that is obviously can be enjoyed as a single player experience, no doubt. But I think at its core though, it is a multiplayer experience, and I'll explain why. For those who don't know, in the older Monster Hunter games, obviously, the game was split into the village and the hub quest, similarly to how it is in Rise now. But the thing was, with these extra hub quests, the quests did not scale the health based off the number of players actually doing it. Instead, it was just automatically assigned as the health pool as if there were 4 hunters hunting it. So even if I was trying to hunt the monster myself, I'd have to fight it with 4 times HP, which kind of sucks. But in a sense, I believe that's the game's developers, Capcom, kind of saying that, hey, we want you to actually hunt this monster with 3 other people, or we're going to make it kind of bumfuckingly difficult, right? And obviously, the whole gathering hub itself is literally a multiplayer experience. Like in all Monster Hunter games, it's the area where you collaborate with people before the quest to choose the quest you want to do, to muck around, have obviously all the social experiences. So I think these additions to the game really kind of highlight that Monster Hunter is a multiplayer game. You're meant to play with other people. And even though a large portion of the game can be soloed, and definitely is worth experiencing solo, the goal of hunting monsters is something that you have to do together. And I believe this also really complements the overall theme of the game, which is the idea of humans collaborating together to tackle a bigger threat. And obviously this is not just represented through obviously having multiple hunters play with you, but also the idea that every NPC in the game is designed to somewhat help you in a way. Obviously you got the armorists that build all the weapons and armor for you. You've got the NPCs that give you items, the quest givers who manage the quest, the handlers who research monsters. All this stuff basically highlights how Monster Hunter is like a community in a sense, and that there needs to be a community for the hunter to be successful. Anyway, so besides that tangent about how Monster Hunter is basically a multiplayer game and all this philosophical talk about it, I didn't have any friends to play Monster Hunter with. And the main reason why is because of the way I engaged with others to play video games. And that was mainly through school. Obviously, you know, most kids like video games, and so obviously you can talk to them and arrange to play maybe on after school or the weekend, right? And the problem is, I think, due to kind of Monster Hunter's popularity, because I think at the moment Monster Hunter's kind of in a weird spot where it's definitely growing in popularity, right, with series such as Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Wilds, obviously bringing a lot of new players to the franchise. But it's still, I wouldn't say like a decently large game, but it's still large enough that there's like a lot of fans and a lot of stuff about the game, but it's not large enough that it's kind of like a big kind of game. Like you know, it's really in the middle, and it's one of those games that kind of just stuck like that. And obviously that kind of made it hard, obviously, to find people to play the game with. And obviously through school, it's even a lower kind of group. You think about all the probability, right? Obviously most kids would have played Minecraft, Terraria, Roblox, stuff like that, but not many would have played Monster Hunter. And even though I talked to some people about it, and also some people had seen the game before, maybe had like tried it once or twice, it never really aligned right. Like they didn't have the right console, or we didn't have time, or it was just some other stuff. Like we never able to play it together. And so therefore I didn't really end up playing Monster Hunter with any of my friends. And that kind of sucked. But I think that overall though, this allowed me to kind of experience Monster Hunter, obviously through a solo lens, which is I'm going to talk about, and also being able to engage with the existing multiplayer features of the game. So overall, playing Monster Hunter solo, I think it's the main way obviously beginners are told to play, and also is the way that the game kind of designs itself around, particularly around stuff like village quests, which are obviously only single player, and also a lot of the stories being kind of like single player driven in a sense. There's like one hunter, right? You're not a group of players. But obviously most veterans will tell you to actually play Monster Hunter solo to actually get good at the game and be able to actually learn the monster by yourself and engage with all the mechanics and figure out a solution to the problem by yourself, which is honestly really valid. And that's the main thing I think that I gained from playing Monster Hunter by myself. But over time, obviously, I started to engage with more of the multiplayer mechanics of the game. And especially in the more modern titles where there's obviously more players playing the game. And that can be particularly seen in obviously the SOS feature. And I think SOS feature is probably one of the funniest things in Monster Hunter, because I like the idea that the devs are thinking, oh yeah, let's add this system in that can be used by players to get help quickly, you know, an SOS. And then some better hunters come in and then fix the problem. Then better hunters can come in and kill the monster and everyone's happy and the quest is done, right? But in reality, it's more like, oh, hey, yo, what's good, guys? I'm joining your SOS. I just need to farm some materials, but I'm equally shit as you guys, and if not, probably worse. And I'm gonna cart everything, because that's literally just me. And then obviously, I'd screw up everything, and then we get cooked. But obviously, I think the main thing with SOS system, it's kind of like the vibe with SOS. Obviously, because no one ever uses really voice chat for SOS hunts, and it's just a tiny radio wheel, some shout outs, some gestures. That's really all you have. And the vibes are always just like kind of chill. Everyone's there just to try their best, hunt the monster, do what they can. Obviously, maybe put some random stickers in the chat and some really cooked custom shout outs, especially in wilds now. But I think the funny thing is that like there's not really any toxicity in the SOS hunts, because the thing is, if you fuck up and you fail the hunt and you're the one responsible for it, there's no after party like voice chat or text message that anyone can say that like, oh bro, why did you do that? Like it just cuts off. So that's one of the funny things. But overall, I think SOS system, I did use it a decent bit, especially in my first game that I actually enjoyed, Rise on the Switch. It was just really fun to just kind of just hop in and kind of be a bit lazy to actually try and hunt some monsters. So I'd just be like, all right, I'm gonna SOS this. Some random Chinese or Japanese players would come in, solo the monster basically, and then I get all my materials, and that was it. Obviously, I do think sometimes I used it a bit too much and kind of got more shit at the game. But I think overall, playing with other people, even though you're not really able to talk with them or communicate with them properly, kind of having that kind of shared experience and goal towards just being the monster and just trying our best is kind of a really nice feeling. Anyway, and then obviously the other multiplayer experience that I engaged in was the Gathering Hub. And now I kind of want to talk specifically about the game Monster Hunter Wilds here, because I think Wilds definitely does the Gathering Hub the best. And because obviously, firstly, the like server sizes is 100, right? It's not like I think it's what, 16 in World, and I think Rise doesn't even have this properly. But having Wilds like server size be 100 makes the Gathering Hub feel just so much more alive and so much more like people are there. And you can see people just like crafting stuff, leaving for quests, join some random person's quest through the counter if you want, because obviously there is going to be a quest there, because there's usually at least like 50 people in a server, right? It's not going to be empty, because obviously, unfortunately, a lot of other games now, like I feel like World and Rise, even though there are a lot of people playing them, it's still kind of a bit like empty sometimes, like especially like with the region locked kind of SOS systems. But with WoW, it's having the crossplay and the massive servers and stuff. It just feels like there's so many more people playing, which I really enjoy. I don't know what it is now at the moment, obviously, because we're kind of in an off period because there's no real content anymore for Wilds, but I'm sure it's still good. But anyways, my point with these SOS systems and the Gathering Hub and all the kind of features, multiplayer features of the game, there's more like the title card and blah blah blah, I'm not going to talk about that, is kind of the idea that even though I was playing Monster Hunter without friends, I still never felt alone, which I think is a great thing about Monster Hunter. And also the fact that the community also kind of didn't make me feel alone while playing the game, because obviously, you know, there's a mountain load of content on like YouTube and stuff. There's all the, you can just scroll through Reddit or Discord and stuff, and just it's just nice. That's all I can really say. It just feels nice to have kind of like even though you don't have any friends playing the game with you, you never really feel alone. And that's kind of, I think, the beauty of Monster Hunter, in my opinion. And I'm sure the same is for other people with other games, but that's just my experience with it. And so yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this random rant about playing Monster Hunter with other people, if you do at all. And yeah, so the main thing I want to quickly note before I finish off the video is the two main things. Firstly, the background footage is from a video I'm making where I finished the Monster Hunter World Iceborne story, so stick around for that. And also, secondly, I have a Twitch I'll be streaming at these times on the screen when I put them up there. But yeah, that's basically it. Check me out on Twitch when I'm streaming, and more videos to come hopefully in the future. So thank you for all the support. We'll see you guys soon.